This counter is really good. I don't know why. I like it.
No,
Um,
I totally get it.
hey, so when I do editing on Premiere, right, and I want to record a line, it gives me also like a timer like that, and I like it. And I don't know why. Like some people probably like you tell me because you're like as an actor, right?
Hmm.
Like, does it make you nervous to get like a countdown?
No,
Oh, okay, because some people have told me that they get nervous with a countdown, but I see the countdown, and then I relax. Like I'm like, okay, here we go. It's gonna be fine. And then like everything just kind of like goes like from this to this, which is weird, but I guess I didn't realize about myself until like I started seeing the counters, and I was like, oh, weird. I wonder
well,
why. Uh huh.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, no, no. Go ahead. I'm
I
listening.
was just gonna say for me, it's in those seconds. It's because I think of theater, right? Like whenever they go like 30 seconds to opening or whatever, 30 minutes to start or 30 seconds to start. It's usually like
Mm,
let me get through all the jitters. So it's more like building up or ramping up. So it's like get through the oh did I forget my lines? Oh did I forget this? No, I got this. This is we got this. This is whatever night it is. Let's do this. Like it's really more of a time for me to like shake out things rather than let the nerves get to me. I feel like I'm more nervous when it's like building up to it earlier, but that's usually the
mm,
time to like focus and like lock in. So that's how I kind of
gotcha.
treat timers is like it's the lock in moment.
I guess that's what it is, and I didn't know I that was a thing. But yeah, especially
Yeah.
with ADHD, like you always hear like that noise everywhere in your head. But the countdown for some reason makes the noise just kind of like zone off or go. I mean, not zone off because you already are zoned off. I guess focus.
Yeah.
But sorry for all that, guys. Welcome to the TBD Tavern. It's another episode, episode 49, and this I'm your host, Silver, and this is my co-host, the wonderful, beautiful, cunning, wandering Ambu. And
Hello.
today we're recording on a Sunday morning, which is why we look a little groggy. At least I feel like I look squinty, and I am so sorry.
I got
I'm
my meat right
trying.
here.
Oh, see, he's got coffee. I I didn't get a chance. I have
Oh
water.
no. Do you
That's
want
what
to
I
go
have.
get your do you have a moment to make coffee or is it gonna just take
It's
too
okay.
long?
We're gonna be fine. We're gonna
Okay.
power through this. It's gonna be
Okay.
great.
Because
It's
I'm
gonna
telling you,
be.
man,
It's gonna be okay. Oh, what's up?
instant coffee makes the world go round right now. Those Vietnamese coffee packs, the G7s, if you can get them, they're
Oh
quick, they're
yeah, yeah,
easy,
yeah, yeah,
they're
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So I do
Oh yeah.
it's a Ensure or not Ensure, Premier Protein. It's like a
Hmm.
cafe latte with the
Hmm.
coffee, so I get a protein shake and that. It's kind of like my I don't have time to eat
Nice.
breakfast, so here's a way to like start my morning. So
Got it.
yeah,
Got it. Got it. Got it. I ran out of horchata, and that's how I'd been drinking my coffee this last couple of days.
yeah.
If not, I would have poured myself like a mug really quick. It's fine. I'll make some today. Um, it's okay. It's fine. It's all right.
It's
I'm
it's
okay.
going. You're good. You're beautiful. You're sexy. You got this. You got this.
So Ambu and well, I told Ambu about this series. Did you had you had already not series? Had you?
Okay.
I guess I'm manifesting what I want. I want it to be a series because I
Yeah.
really liked it. Had you already seen this movie or no?
No. So I have had a lot. I've had people actually ask me if I had watched it, and you were one of them
Mm.
who had asked me. The only thing I had seen was the scene on. It was like on Twitter. It was a clip of when the cat knocks over the flower pot. And
Yeah.
then for like a minute and a half, he's just trying so desperately to like put the flower pot back. And then every time you touch it, be like, so that almost sold me on it, but I was just kind of like, okay, I'm not. Here's the thing. When I heard it was called K-pop Demon Hunters, I was just kind of like, all right, this is fun, but I don't know if this is for me. And then I had you reach out to me like, you should watch this. I had Panda ask me if I had watched it. I saw like Kai and Cold had watched it. So basically everyone around me had watched it, and then all of a sudden I felt like an outsider going like, did I miss the memo or something? Did someone simply have to be like, watch this? So then started watching it, and that's how it happened.
I had not seen it because I'm not a I'm not into K-pop. I'm not into
What?
K-pop. Sorry. Oh,
Oh
I
no.
know. I know the world right now is all about lives and breathes and bleeds K-pop, but I am not one of you. And I have no
Mm-mm.
hate. It's just not my. It just. I'm sorry. It just doesn't do it for me. It's for another episode, I guess. But not, I
Well,
will reserve my comments about K-pop. But it's not a thing for me. I like a little bit of J-pop only because I love some anime intros and
that's
outros.
fair.
I mean, that's what made me like J-pop. But K-pop, um, I don't know. Anyways, I thought it
Well,
was a money grab for
mhm.
maybe like a K-pop band wanted to make like their anime or an animation, and I was like, it's probably gonna be shitty. It's probably gonna be pretty bad. It's
Oh.
probably gonna be for just kids or like for fans and stuff like that. But I don't know what possessed me that one night while I was like editing. Because that's what I was doing. I was doing some editing and I wasn't really focused at first until like the fight in the beginning of the movie in the plane and I start hearing the
Oh.
music, and then I'm like, yeah, yeah, okay. I was like, wait, what? I was like, what's happening right now? I was like, what's going on? And then I kind of like stopped for a second, and they have a really good choreographed little funny fight which I enjoy because I'm a big Jackie Chan fan, right? And I like those sort of like comedy play choreographed fights, but at the same time, I like good music. Like K-pop sometimes does have like really good beats. So then I next thing you know, I stopped editing. I'm sorry, Ambu, and then
How
and
dare
then
you?
and then I just began watching the movie, and I was like, oh, okay, K-pop Demon Hunters. All right, I see you. Let's see what's up. And as I kept on experiencing the fight, and then the scene where like they're fighting these demons. Uh, well, okay, so let me backtrack or
Mm-hmm.
you tell us about it, Ambo, because I feel like I always start these episodes and I tell the story of the movie, but
No, you're good.
I feel like you never do.
No, I go way too long on details, so that's my issue. But
I
real
will
quick,
go in then.
I wanted to go in on
Mm,
K-pop because I find it interesting because I watched a video
yeah.
ages ago and how I think what makes K-pop stand out for a lot of people is like you think of Blackpink where they mix like rap, they mix rock, they mix like pop. There's like five different genres happening in a single song. So it's kind of like a taste, it's like a sampler plate of like different genres.
I'm sorry.
Um
What was the name of the band you called? Is
Blackpink,
that a band? Blackpink.
that's a K-pop band. They have a song called "How You Like
Don't
That." I
know anything
think you've
about
probably
K-pop.
heard it
Sorry.
before because they've used
Mm,
it for commercials for like I think T-Mobile or something like that. But like if you
oh, okay.
listen to their type of music, you'll see that like they have like there's a segment where they do kind of like a rap element, and then another one that's kind of like a rock element. Then there's another one that's like a
Mm,
pop element, and they mix all these genres together, and I think that's what makes it stand out. And then also, but then also you think about like BTS, and you've got songs like Dynamite or Butter,
mm,
which I thought the movie did a good job of kind of like pointing out how different boy K-pop bands are versus kind of like Blackpink and others. And for any K-pop fans, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but like the Sasha Boys with their Soda Pop song was pretty much reminding me of Dynamite 100%, and how BTS took over. And then like the Huntrix group reminded me a lot more of Blackpink or some. I'm trying to think of other bands, but it's like the music is really good. But that was all I was gonna say. Basically, in K-pop Demon Hunters, what we find out is that some people have a certain gift to
mm.
where they use music to create this thing called the Honmun, which is like this barrier that protects the human world from um, being invaded by the demon world. It's like the barrier between the two realms.
Like a veil.
Yeah, like a veil. There you go. And it's because there's this demon called Guima who basically has demons suck souls of people for him to get bigger and then to eventually take over the world. That's kind of the underlying element. That's the hint that we get. Um, Other hints that we get in the movie is humans can turn into demons via like a contract or like a bargain with Guillemot, so kind of like bargain with the devil for anybody
Mm.
who's more into Western influences and all that stuff. But basically, for centuries, there have been people who would create songs that would basically resonate with everyone's hearts, and then the Honmun would the veil would surround the world and protect everybody from a demon invasion. And then, so we are now joining the group of Huntrix, who they are right at the precipice of doing the Honmun themselves, and they're in a concert. I forget what the name of the song is that that they sing, but it is a bop when they jump in. Is it Hunter's Mantra? No, it
At the beginning,
is
right,
yeah, when they're singing
during the
about like
fight on the
the
plane.
yeah.
I think it's called. I don't.
Or is it How It's
It
Done?
how it's done. I think that's how it
How It's
is.
Done.
Yeah, this
Okay.
is how it's done. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
they sing a song. You're like, okay, this is like a bop. They're fighting on the plane. These demons have like taken over to try to stop them. And so then you hear that they want to take a break, but they're being pushed to get it done because they're trying to get the Honmun done. And there's another reason that you find out later. Rumi, who's like the main singer of the group, is pushing them to release their new song called Golden, which
She's
is
the
supposed to be
Beyonce.
yeah. So
For
she's
those of
supposed
you
to.
non K-pop fans.
So Rumi is like the singer of the group. You have Mira, who is the dancer of the group. She's the feisty, sassy one. And then I think Zoe is like the bubbly, can rap like no other of the group. They all have their specialties and they go in on it. They're a good team. They're a good trio. They're locked in on what they do and what they bring to the table. But
I like really quickly. I like
yeah, yeah.
how how you just said all of that. It's like a friendlier way to say, uh, uh, these all two have other things to contribute, but the important one is Rumi.
No, that's
it,
not what I
no,
meant.
not that's not what you meant, but like
Hmm.
that's what K-pop does. It looks like
Oh.
they're like, oh, they all have their things to contribute, but we're all gonna focus on that one main girl, right? Because I mean that's
Hmm.
why Beyonce became Beyonce out of Destiny's Child, right? Like there's that one lead singer. I mean, come on, come on, guys.
I mean, I guess so. I guess you could see that with some groups. Like, I'm trying to think. I'll try to think of others,
Like
but like
Justin Bieber. I mean Justin Bieber. JT. Justin Timberlake. Sorry.
with like NSYNC, even though they had like all the others. Yeah, I guess I get what you're saying. We all kind of there's always the one that people
Uh,
like resonate with or like lean
at
towards, and
least
then
I guess what I meant to say is like at least K-pop is kind about it. It is a little bit more kind about it. By the way, your conversation about K-pop at the beginning, I only understood BTS because I know BTS because my family, my
oh
sister and
man,
my nieces are fans of BTS, so I think that's the
gotcha.
only K-pop band I know.
Yeah, they're. I mean, they're definitely the like. Sorry to any BTS fans, but they're definitely like the commercial advertisement of K-pop because of how big they are. Um, and I don't I know some songs. I don't know a lot, so forgive me for anybody who's like this mother mofo right here talking only about butter and dynamite. Like there's so many better songs. I'm sure there are. I'm sure you have your underrated favorites. I've got bands I'm the same way about, but I'm just using this example to highlight a point. But let's just get back to this real quick. So Rumi is pushing them to release their song Golden because they're trying to get the honeymoon done now. They want to get it done. They want to get it figured out. They want to like they just that way they can take a break. They're ready for it. But then we find out a secret about Rumi, and Rumi is a half demon, half human, which becomes a big part of the storyline. And and so we start seeing her begin to have a hard time singing. She's losing her voice because I'm going to say symbolically it represents how she's doesn't want to keep hiding the secret about herself, and she's ashamed, so she's not golden, because the song is about her ascending the throne and being golden. But because she's lying to herself, that's what's manifesting is she can't sing anymore. So she's having a hard time with it. Um,
Yeah.
and that's when we get introduced to Jinwoo. Do you want to take over, Silver, or do you want me to continue?
Yeah, no, Jinwoo is basically the guy on the demon side who comes up with a plan to try and beat the Huntrix and take over the world
Mm-hmm.
by and I kid you not, everybody kind of laughed at first when he presented this to the big bad boss, uh using a K-pop boy band, right? Which is like, yes, we've been fighting these demon huntresses all this time. They keep kicking our butts, and no matter what plan we use, but we're gonna beat them through a K-pop boy band, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if I was their boss too, I would have been like, "You're kidding me, right? Like this is dumb." But you know, they show that they have a little bit of talent. They can obviously sing, and once they start singing, you know, they feel more confident about them being able to defeat the Huntrix
Mm-hmm.
girls. And but the thing is, what's his name again?
Jinwoo. Jinwoo.
Jinu. Jinwoo. Sorry, I'm thinking solo
You're
leveling.
good.
Jinwoo.
Arise.
He solo level wins this entire movie. Just not really, but yes,
I
kind of really
mean,
in a way.
he does. Let's be real here.
He kind of
Everybody's
does.
everybody's talking about Gino right now. There's the Jirumi shipping going on right now. Everybody's about it. Let's not kid ourselves.
It's true. He does win. He does win. He solo levels it. I mean, he does have all the other demon boys in the band, right? That each one of them have something to contribute, like you said. He has his little demon boy band that consists of the baby boy face guy, the
Yeah,
guy
there's
with
like
the abs,
Absaja.
and I
Yeah,
don't know what the other two do.
they're all just kind of part of it. I don't think any of them really get more than just they're part of the band. The main two that kind of get the most attention is Absaja and then Babyface Boy, because yeah, like Mira is all about
Because
Ab
abs sell.
Boy.
Because
Yeah, and
abs
then
sell.
Zoe's like all about the baby face boy, so it's kind of like
Mm.
that's why I think that's the focus. But the other two are just kind of there.
Right, right,
Yeah,
right, right, right.
yeah.
I mean, they're all supposedly very good looking and whatnot. Um, but but this guy also has like a backstory, right?
Hmm.
Because he's not like the other demons. Like he looks like other demons, but you're excused. But he's like like a human demon spirit, while
Hmm.
the other demons that we had seen were like looked to be like fully fledged demons, and he seems to have been like a human that got converted into a demon, and it's because of his background. He made some dealings when he was alive as a human in like eras back in history in Korea,
Hmm.
and he made ultimately he made a deal with the devil. That's what he did.
Hmm.
And when it was time to pay, he became part of the devil's army. Well, not the devil, but the demon lord
Glima,
guy.
yeah.
Yeah. Uh, and that's why he's part of this story, right?
Hmm.
But we'll talk a little bit more about his history in a second, because I don't want to get ahead as to how he became a demon and what dealings he had to do just yet. I will say that the reason that he meets Rumi is because Rumi is struggling with finding her voice, because she is fighting her, what are they called? Marks? Those
Yeah,
tattoos,
they're
those really
they.
cool
I think they're
tattoos that they
just
have.
they marks or scars, whatever they want to call it. Like I think it was marks because that's how you know
Yeah,
that they're
because
demons.
in the movie, those marks symbolize the fact that you're a demon, right? Anybody with those marks, it means you're a demon, and you're an evil, you're a bad person. You're no
Hmm.
good for this world. You should be killed and exterminated. Uh, I know it sounds extra, but that's literally what the message that the movie puts consistently is that, if you have these marks, you are no good, you're a bad person, no matter what, black and white, right?
Well, yes, but
That's how it is because I
yeah,
mean,
but I'm just gonna say this real quick. I think
hmm,
the movie hints that the demons, some of them are more like they're just afraid and they do what they do because they are under obligation to Guima. Just because like you see scenes in the movie where they're afraid of Guima and it doesn't look like they're necessarily inherent. Well, no, maybe it is. Maybe I'm just giving them I'm giving them a little bit more humane elements, but it really did look like they were more than just evil. Like they're just doing it because they have no choice. But um, anyway, they're still evil. It's still black and white. People are still getting murdered. It's fine.
he's
Um,
just look at him. He's just a sweet guy. That's why he's trying to be kind. He got Jin Wooed. He got Jin Wooed or Jin Hood. He's got Jin
Junud.
something. He got
I,
Jinude. Jinude
yeah.
all over him.
Oh no! Don't not like that.
And now and that's why he's trying to defend the demons a little bit. But I see what he's saying. Like, I mean, yeah, they're kind of forced, right? To serve under the
Guima.
boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't even remember his name.
It's okay. It's. I get it.
I'm sorry. I
How dare you?
apologize.
It's fine. It's fine. Don't apologize. You're good.
All right.
I have the list up in front. I have the IMDb cast list in front of me.
Oh,
That's
he has
why.
the MDB.
Yeah, that's why I'm
I
like,
have three names. I have three names, guys, and it's in my teleprompter right in front of me. Rumi, Mira, and Zoe. That's it.
and not even Genu. Not
I
even
wrote them
Genu.
in. I wrote them in because I haven't been Genued. I'm okay. I'm all right with Rumi, Mira, and Zoe, and
Mm-hmm.
Ambu likes to be Genued or Ju. I'm not even gonna say anything else because it's gonna
Okay,
sound worse as I'm
but
saying the
any,
different versions of that.
but I
I
guess
hope that
any.
I hope that Riverside clips this. It was like Ambu getting Genued.
Oh no, no, no! I would change the title anyway. But
Do it
aside from that,
AI. Yeah.
as the Saja boys get introduced, they're basically BTS. They like break out. They have a song called Soda Pop. They take the opportunity because the Huntrix was supposed to do like a live performance of Golden, but because Rumi can't sing, they can't. So in comes the Saja boys doing their little jig in the middle of like a town square singing Soda Pop. They're getting people going. There's a whole discussion. And we also find out that Rumi, who we at this point have now found out that she's half demon, half human, her reason why she wants the honeymoon to be done now is because she's been hiding herself from Mira and Zoe, or Mira and Zoe, right?
Zoe, yeah. I know those
Zoe.
because I have those names written down.
but but also their manager Celine has been telling her, you're not a mistake, but you have to hide yourself from the other girls, and if you get the honeymoon done, then you'll be human again, which is a whole thing for her because it's like, I've been this for so many years. I've sacrificed going to hang out with them, being close with them, all this stuff, but it's the whole like, they don't really know me because they don't see who I am, and the
Yeah.
fear of showing that part of herself is scary because they've been taught that, again, demons are bad. So if she has the marks, is she a bad person because she is part demon? And so she's kind of grappling with this inner turmoil throughout the whole entire movie. And there's a point where they get into a battle with Ginu and the Saja boys because they're trying to stop them, and Ginu realizes Rumi's secret, which then leads to him reaching out to her from this adorable tiger cat demon. It's the same scene that I was telling you about, what got me to consider watching K-pop Demon Hunters,
And the
where,
crow too, by the way.
well, the crow, yeah, with the little hat, which apparently the hat was for the tiger cat, but the raven just keeps taking it because he just likes it, and it works. It's fitting. But like, yeah, for a minute and a half, he's just like, the flower pot falls, and he just wants to pick it up, and it just keeps falling. And then Rumi picks it up, puts it in front of him, and then he knocks it down again, and then just whatever. But she meets with Jinwoo, who's like, "You're a demon," trying to basically connect with her. We find out Jinwoo's backstory, which do you want me? I'll just tell you.
Yeah.
Jinwoo was also a artist. He was a musician during his time, but he wasn't making money. His family was poor. Him and his wife had a daughter. They were all starving. Wasn't it his daughter?
No, mom and sister.
Mom and sister. Oh, I thought it was okay. Well, mom and sister were starving, so Guima makes a deal with them to basically be like, if you want to make it, I can give you this. We don't hear the Faustian bargain aspect of it, but we know that what's implied. So the story is that he became a royal, like a singer for the courts, a musician. Him and his family lived in wealth, but then something happened to where, because of his markings, his mother and sister were kicked out of the courts, and he lost them, and that's how he became a demon, was because in true Faustian bargain you give up more for what you believe you want. And so he's been dealing with this guilt, but also he's trying to say to Rumi, embrace who you are. You know who you are. Like, I can help you with this. I can help you embrace yourself. And so here we are now with Rumi kind of getting Genu'd, I guess is now the term, where she wants to believe Jinwoo and she wants him to help her,
He
but at the same
accepted her.
time, like, she can't help. She still has to fight Jinwoo because of the Saja boys and their grip on society. People are starting to have their souls ripped from their bodies because they become part of the Pride, which is the Saja boys like fandom and everything else. So the girls decide we have to write a song to take down the demons. They start writing the song Takedown, which strikes a chord with Rumi because here she is also a demon. So how could she sing about how evil and wrong and terrible demons are when Jinwoo has shown her a tragic story and her own story of being a demon? So there's a lot that's happening in the background of it. And I think that's what I like about K-pop Demon Hunters is like it's not just all this action up front with like the demon hunting, the fighting. There's a
Yeah.
bigger story
There's
in the
dialogue. There's
background.
plot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
It's
and
nice.
Jinu doesn't tell her the whole story too, by the way. Like
Mm-hmm.
that is the real story that we know happened, but she thinks that he did something bad but doesn't know what, and that he got tricked by the big bad guy,
Mm-hmm.
and that he has a soul and that he's not really bad, and then if he's not bad then that means that she's not bad. That's
Mm-hmm.
kind of how she's seeing it. And that again, more to why that song that they make strikes a chord. But I feel like it's a little dumb because here's the thing: she's already been killing demons. She's already been killing demons for a very long time. For a very, very long time. Since she was a kid, she's been trained to know that demons are bad, but she's the exception. I know that she has a little bit of resentment towards her manager and kind of, I guess, pseudo mom who raised her, because her mom was also a huntress, and her dad was a demon. Rumi's parents
Mm-hmm.
were Rumi's dad was a demon and Rumi's mom was huntress. But something happened. They died, and the manager, whatever I forget her name is,
Celine.
raises her. Celine raises her and always tells her that it doesn't matter that she has these marks, but as soon as they are able to lock away the demons, they will go away and everything will be fine, and that she's the exception and she's not evil. you know uh so again, to me it feels dumb that all it took was a boy for her to question her entire existence. Yeah, because think about it. It wasn't until
Mm.
she met him and spoke to him and thought he was human, or that he had a soul and a heart, right? That she was like, oh, what have I been doing all this time? All the while like cleaning her sword from all the demon blood. Oh man, what have I been doing all this time? I was like, oh, is that a piece of demon? Oh, Oh man,
Well,
it's terrible. Yeah.
I've got a counter for you. I've got a counter for you.
Okay, I'm listening.
Okay.
Yes,
So here's the thing. You're right, but I've got a few things that I feel kind of
I'm
I
right,
understand.
but
I understand what you're getting at, but here's the thing. First of all, her marks had never become as prominent until before Golden. It's up to her neck at this point, right? So for her, it's going to become visible. So I think it made her start to question everything because here we are now, like she could be human for years and has gotten away with it because her marks, she always covered them up. She always wore long sleeves. She always wore everything else. Everything up until that point could be covered, but what happens when now her marks become on her face, or they start showing in a space that she can't cover? I think that kind of put her in a position where she started to question that. And then the other thing too is I don't know if they met demons who provided an opportunity for a sob story or could give a story that makes you question who they are. I think that was part of the reason why she started questioning it.
do you really think she would have questioned herself the way that she has, right? Or justified everything that she's is or uh became if we did not have the boy band?
I
Let's say
mean,
we
I
had
don't.
another conflict. Let's say we had another conflict.
Mhm.
Big fat ugly demon is the conflict now. Like just like a big fat evil demon. It's like I am so powerful, and they try and fight him, and they don't beat him. Do you think she would have had the same sort of development?
I don't think it would have been as prominent, but I still think it would have happened
I
because I
don't think
think
he would. The blatant lies.
no, I
Look
do
at him.
because dude, the whole entire thing is like even before she met Jinwoo, she was already having the internal dialogue. That's what I like about this movie is the expressions in this movie, the way that it's animated gives you very good insight into the characters. I mean, you see how
Oof,
oh,
I got disconnected.
okay. Hi. Okay, well, that's a thing that happened. Hi everybody. So I'm gonna glaze Silver real quick and say this. The homie is great. He's wonderful, and I love that we can have these debates.
Wow! Wow! Wow!
Bro, it was like
God.
you wrong out of here. Um,
Sorry, Riverside's been mean to me today, guys. I have no idea why, but it's been
because
okay.
Riverside agreed with me on this point. That's why. And it was just
Yeah,
like out.
Riverside's like, all right, we're timing you out, buddy. We're giving you time out. Uh,
But let's go back real quick. Let's just circle back. I do think it still would have been a conflict. I don't think it would have been as
mm,
prominent because we wouldn't have had takedown. We wouldn't have had, I agree with you that Ginu kind of spearheaded the bigger conflict, right? I do think without Ginu, it wouldn't be the big storyline. I think it would have been something else, but it wouldn't have been the big storyline. I think we would have just seen more internal struggle. I think Celine would have become more prominent than what she was because, Rumi would have had to deal with that. So I think it would have come to a head. It just wouldn't have been in the way that we see it. So that's kind of where I'm at with it.
counter.
Go for it.
Tag me in, coach. Here's what I think. This is I again. The boy band, it definitely influenced them in a whole different way, and
Of course.
she would have not have had the same development without them at all. She would have doubted herself and everything. And here is one of the main reasons. Some of the reasons why. First off, you mentioned takedown. Okay, takedown was written because Mira and Zoe actually they have an interaction before, like the what are they called, the what boys, Sosha boys.
Saja Boys.
Sure,
Saja, Saja Boys.
sure. Anyways, they have an interaction with them, with Rumi, Mira, and Zoe, because Rumi, Mira, and Zoe go to a doctor that is going to help Rumi fix her voice because she starts having issues with her voice, because she does start having, you're right, she does start having some, like, issues with her voice and like insecurities about her marks, and like they're so
Mm-hmm.
close to finally just kind of like defeating evil, right? And it's stressing her out, and she doesn't know how to relax, which again, I think that the reason that her marks started showing more again is the stress of it all, because Mira and Zoe always told her, relax, take some time for you, like don't be all about work. You have to take care of yourself, right? Maybe if she did take care of herself, she wouldn't have had those marks start coming out. And also, it wouldn't start affecting her voice. So, anyways, they go see a doctor that Zoe finds. And the doctor's kind of funny and weird. He is played by the guy that plays Chang from
Oh,
he's in Community, and he's
Ken
also
Jeong.
in yeah,
No, wait,
he
isn't Ken Jeong Bobby?
Hangover. No. Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Oh, you're
he's
right. You're right. You're
yeah,
right.
yeah,
Bobby
yeah.
is their
Their
manager. You're
manager.
right. I
It's
apologize.
Daniel Day Kim that plays
Daniel Day
Han.
King. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. Also a really good actor. But the doctor, kind of like does a breakdown of Rumi. It's like, he calls her out on everything. He's like, you have so many walls, dude. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you're also a ball of stress. Like, chill, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he does the thing also to Zoe, and he tries to do it to Mira. Mira kind of puts her in his place, puts him in his place, because Mira is the feisty one. She's the If I had to compare her to the Spice Girls, she'd be like what's it called? Mean Spice or Angry Spice?
I don't even know, dude.
Posh Spice. It's posh Spice. That's what I meant to say.
Mm.
No, Angry Spice, Sporty Spice. I don't know. Whatever, it's fine.
There's
Anyways,
Sporty Spice, Baby Spice, Scary Spice, Posh Spice, and
Scary
Ginger
Spice.
Spice.
That's where I go.
There you go.
Scary Spice. Uh, Anywho, the doctor says, "I know how to fix this. We're gonna give you a bunch of supplements." She walks out with this tiny little like Asian girl with like a gigantic ass box of supplements. Right? They're walking out of the
Mm-hmm.
office, and that's when they like bump into the what boys?
The Saja Boys.
Damn right. And then they do their whole walk of like, oh, look at me, I'm sexy, oh yeah, I look great, and they're all like, Mira and Zoe first are like, oh my god, they're so beautiful, I love them.
Yeah, we're
And
seeing
Rumi is
popcorn out of the
like, you
eyes from
guys are
the abs.
disgusting, oh my god, girls. And then she sees Jin Daddy, or Jinwoo, or Jinhua, Jinud.
Genu.
She
Bro,
gets
you gotta
Jinud
get
for the
Genu
first
so that
time.
way you can get it.
Nah, I'm good. Um, and then she's like, oh, man, this guy's hot, right? She trips. There's this Korean, like, I've seen the memes of like Korean dramas where it's like they play like a soft song, and then she's like in slow motion falling, and she's like reaching for him, and he looks like he's gonna reach, but he doesn't really reach. She falls, she looks like an idiot, and she accidentally like tries to grab onto him, and all he does is like, ill, like, don't touch me, gross, you're disgusting, or be careful, watch yourself. I forget what she says, but basically that, he's like, how dare you touch me,
Mm.
person. And they all see that, and Rumi, Mira, and Zoe, all three of them were like, "Oh my god, they're horrible! How dare they think that we're gross or below them and whatnot?" But at first, they were their mouths were like were oceans of saliva. Uh, and that's when they eventually meet them and have this whole thing in the park, and they realize that they're demons, but they're like, oh man, they're demons, but man, they're so hot at the same time. And man, that
Mm-hmm.
music's actually really good. So again, Takedown, sorry, this is a long-winded answer to say.
No, you're fine.
Takedown was developed because these girls got turned down and shot down by the demon pretty boys.
Well,
Had they had
yeah.
an ugly ass evil superpower demon uh introduce conflict, would Takedown have been the same way? No.
So
No.
one
Ambu,
more,
come on, stop
one more
it.
counter,
Stop
one more
it.
counter, one
Stop
more
it.
counter,
Stop
one
it.
more
It would
counter.
have not. Stop it.
I've got one more counter for you though,
All right.
because here's the thing. You're right. Takedown wouldn't have happened. I will give you that. Takedown wouldn't have happened. You know, the whole arc
Silver
wouldn't have been a
2.
thing. But and I'm gonna go with you and agree that, like, yes, Rumi was a giant stress ball, but that would have led to another conflict with Celine and with the girls. We wouldn't have had a song. You're right. We wouldn't have had that. But no matter what, the movie shows that Rumi had to have a reckoning with her own history and embrace who she is. That was going to be a conflict no matter what. That was a
Yeah.
central conflict. That is a big story plot because that's why we needed it for the end. Where yes, even though it was against the Saja boys and everything, like the whole point is that the song at the end of the movie is the representation of Rumi accepting who she is, which is, I think, what it's free, right? No, what it sounds like. So what it sounds like is a representation of Rumi embracing who she is and getting and letting go of the inner conflict. She had to, but it's like her saying, like, I am who I am and I need to embrace who I truly am. So I think no matter what, there would have still been a conflict. I think it would have been more
Oh yeah.
central within the girls and like within Celine and Rumi's ramifications of trying to erase who she is because she couldn't accept who she is because she was taught that demons are terrible. But I don't think it would have been the same outcome as like you said. So I agree with you, but I don't think that Rumi
Yeah.
would not have had these conversations in her head or wouldn't have seen them manifest into a conflict. I just think it would have been somewhere else. I think it would have been a different story, and that's fine. I don't think it would have been the same. It would have been as
It would have been a different
successful.
story. It would have been a story about how people overwork themselves and
Hmm.
how the like things like the K-pop industry overwork their talent, and
Yeah,
you know, it would have been a different story. It would not have been a sad love story of
it wouldn't have been as feel good.
uh yeah.
Yeah,
It would have been still been feel good. There would have been a message. It's just not a message for kids, right? Because I feel like this is
yeah. Oh my god,
God
again,
damn it.
Riverside? All right, so let me glaze this man. Look, I know it may look like we have disagreements or whatever, but this man, he's great. He's wonderful. I really appreciate that we can host this tavern together and host this podcast. He is truly an amazing homie and has made my world so much better because we get to enjoy this stuff. And he pushes me past watching things I normally would not like probably put on my plate or like I've talked about watching but then don't get to watching because for whatever reason I just don't get around to it. And I can't even respond on Discord because Discord has decided it doesn't want to work. So that's fun. Discord, will you please work? Yeah, so he's great. He's a dude. Okay, so let's just do this real quick, okay?
Riverside is basically saying this man's make. Oh no, man,
Oh my god, Riverside again. Okay, chat 1 second. Everybody 1 second. I gotta go grab something. Um,
killing me. Did he leave? He left.
Alright.
Oh,
Ah!
there he is.
Yeah, I'm still here. I was just grabbing my phone in case,
Riverside.
because.
No, I'll, it's okay.
But, so let's just do this because for some reason Riverside has decided today is like a bad day. Um,
Silver's making too much sense. I
No,
can't. We
no.
can't.
Well, Silver, you always make sense. Stop, okay? But yeah, you're right. It would have been feel good, but I don't think it would have really reached the audience in a way that I think it wanted to reach it. Like you said, I think because they were trying to be more kid friendly, this was like this was the story to tell. It's
Yeah.
much more of a broader appeal. It's not going to
Yeah.
be as niche. It's not going to be a conversation starter. I also don't know if the studio wanted to make that the conversation, so that's why they
Yeah.
pivoted towards that. But you're right. I think it could have been an interesting story if they would have focused more on like the overworked nature of the K-pop industry and like how terrible
Yeah.
it is.
I'm not
But
saying it's a better story. I'm saying it's just it would have been a different story. I guess
no,
ultimately
no,
I'm just teasing you at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I'm
no.
just
But you're
messing with
right
him.
though. I don't. But what I mean by better story is I don't think it would have had as much commercial appeal and it wouldn't be
Yeah.
as
Of
appealing.
course.
That's what I mean. I
At
don't.
the end
I
of the
mean,
day, this is an animation about one, Korean culture, right? Two, good freaking music. Three, a little bit of romance, right?
Yeah,
4, pretty people, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And 5, a little bit of comedy and some
Mhm.
action. Yeah, man. And that would have
Yeah,
not have happened in a different, with that other story narrative. So
yeah.
I, I will admit it, Umbu. The what boys?
Saja boys.
That's right. They were needed.
No, I did not disagree with you on that. Yeah, I just think the conflict was there no matter what. That was the only thing I was saying.
Yeah.
But real quick, basically to put it to a head, right? So that way we can not get you booted again because for some reason we're such being a butthead. Um, the basic storyline is eventually Jinwoo and Rumi fall in love. They sing a beautiful song called "Free." And then they come up with a plan on how they could help each other to where she will help Jinwoo. She's like, if you stay over on this side of the veil when we get the honeymoon to go, then you'll be free from being a demon, and then I can get rid of my markings, and then whatever it may be. Then Jinwoo gets pulled in by Guima, and Guima's like, bro, I'm your boss. You don't think I know what you're trying to do? Do you want me to remind you how bad it is? Because the other reason why Jinwoo is doing this is because he has a deal with Guima, which is
Yeah.
if he gets Guima to become powerful again, the memories of him, what really happened, get erased from his head. He doesn't have to deal with his guilt anymore, and he can live happily ever after, or so he thinks. At least in a sense of like, he still serves Guima, but he doesn't have to hear the guilt that creates that, like, haunts him for the last 400 years. Um,
Which is funny, right? He's basically like trying to destroy the world so that he doesn't remember like something horrible and cringy. Which is, I mean, I get it in a way because like I don't know if you guys ever have those like I don't know where you're like, do, I'm doing work, man. Today work, everything's been great. I'm having an amazing day. And I don't know where you get like a
yep.
flashback of a very cringy thing you did as a teenager, and you're like, ah,
No, seriously.
you take damage. You're like, ah, minus 100, ah.
Dude, there will
You're
be
just
times where my brain will be like, hey, you remember when he did this like 12 years ago? Do you remember that? Because I remember it. Here's the detail. And you're like, why? Why? Why did I need to? Oh my God.
no.
Okay, so,
Damn it.
bro, I swear, Discord hates you today. Okay, well, let me just message Silver, because what the heck, man? This is wild. Um, do do do. Okay,
Dude,
all right.
so it's a known issue. I just saw the message. I got a message from Riverside that users are trying to connect to their studio calls and that they are having issues. So it's not just me;
Okay,
it's a lot of other folks.
yeah. Okay, so then TLDR, everybody, is basically they're going to the Idol Awards because they're training to get ready for that because they want to do the honeymoon there. They agree to use Golden instead of Takedown because Rumi's just like, look, I'm not feeling the lyrics for Takedown. It's scary. It's like I don't think it's the right thing to do. Our demon's really bad, that. But they brush that to the side because they don't have that conversation. It's a weird like, let's just throw this in there now, but we don't do it. And then the demons come up with the Saja boys come up with a plan to where basically uh, Mira and Zoe get tricked into thinking Bobby's getting carried away by demons, and it's really just a demon pretending to be Bobby, and then they trick them, and then they have two other demons dress up as Zoe and Mira, and then they force takedown to happen while they start to take off the clothing of Rumi to show her scars, to her marks to everyone,
Hey, it didn't
and
go
then
where we
there's
thought it was gonna go there, guys. Huh?
yeah,
Sorry,
but then to
it's
show
not a
the
hentai.
marks, and then that
Bad.
turns into so she runs off the stage because she's like, what the heck, because the demons are like, surprise motherfucker, and then she runs back. She's like, you two are back here, what happened? And then she goes to Gino like, why did you were supposed to help me? I thought we had an agreement. And he was like, here's my real story, I'm an asshole. And then talks about how he actually ditched his mother and sister to become a singer for the courts, and then that's why he becomes a demon, and so that's why he doesn't want to hear the voices anymore. It's not that they were kicked out for whatever reason, it was he ditched them. So that's the story, which then leads to Rumi running away and being freaked out and everything else. My memory's a little bit hazy on this part, but then what I remember is basically the Saja boys are like, oh, come to this other stadium, we're gonna perform a new song. So this is like the final. Think of it as like the boss final, where like now they're just trying to grab everybody's um, soul.
Souls.
It's souls. It's they sing a song called Your Idol. Guima's like in the background, just like, yo, feed me those souls, give me them now, like just like going
Yum,
for
yum,
it.
yum, 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 yum,
And
yum, yum.
then yeah, right. And then eventually, because Rumi has a confrontation with Celine where it's like she's like, why did I do this? What was the point in hiding my scar, like my marks? You told me I'm filthy and all this other stuff. Celine is like, I'm sorry I let you down, and you're gonna be okay. And that's what leads to the song What It Sounds Like, because Rumi is like, because Mira and Zoe are now under Guima's spell because they hear the voices in their head of like parts of them
Yeah.
that they've like also hidden.
Insecurities.
Yeah.
Right.
And so then that's when Rumi's like, okay, like let me sing about being myself and what it sounds like, and that knocks them out of their trance. And then the girls knock it out of the park
Rally.
with
They rally.
they rally, yeah, and then they sing What It Sounds Like, which leads to pushing Guima back. Jinwoo's gone. The Han Moon has like sealed it, and then life goes on because they've accepted Rumi for who she is. But then, of course, in true movie fashion, there's a hint at a potential sequel because we see, I think, the crow and the cat, I think, or is it just the crow? Whatever
Yeah.
it may be, we
The
see
cat
them.
too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it indicates that there could be a sequel, and that the Jinumi is like possible. So there you go. Overall, what I can say is one of the things I found cool, by the way, I was looking this up while you were gone, Silver, and while I was also trying to glaze you like no other because you're a badass and you're awesome.
Wow.
Is no, you are, but like the voice actor for
No.
fuck, come on, Riverside, come on, really, you had to do that right when we're in the middle of a conversation, bro. I am livid right now, livid, bro.
Stop glistening me.
Trying to reconnect. Okay. I don't even know if I can stop it, to be honest. It might just be stuck. Um. Okay. So, real quick, to further add into the glaze of okay. So you're not supposed to see. Oh my god. You are not supposed to see that. Uh. Okay. Hold on. Let me add the effects. Hold on. We're gonna roll out the. We're Okay, there we go. Oh my god, that was. You saw the mess back there. I am sorry. Anyway, TLDR, real quick. The story is great. The voice acting is really solid. It is a good movie. I highly recommend watching it. If you're a fan of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, it's from the same studio, so there you go. You should totally watch it. For that reason.
Oh.
The animation is again solid. The voice acting is really good. The story is a good feel good. It's going to make you sad. It's going to make you happy. The resolution is solid. The cast is really good too. Apparently, for those who like the band once, you're going to get a joke with the band called Twice that was doing the final song Your Idol. And then for those who love YouTube, you've got Sungwon Cho, who does Absaja, who's known as ProZD for his YouTube channel. And then my favorite thing I was trying to tell you, Silver, is the front man for Squid Games is the voice actor for Guima. So I love that he's in
Gotcha.
this villain arc right now,
Yeah.
and he's killing it. But I would recommend it. I think it's silly. I think it's fun, and I know some people are probably going to be turned off by the K-pop name, but I think it's worth it. Look beyond that because you're going to get a good soundtrack, good story, good animation for families. I think you're going to enjoy it with your kids, and it's got a good message overall. What are your thoughts?
Yes, I agree. Didn't hear everything, but I'm sure whatever you said, it was fantastic. So yeah, sorry for the technical issues, guys. Promise that this will not happen again.
Yeah.
But yeah, go watch it. It's a really good animation. I'm hoping for a sequel. I'm hoping for a series. I think it has
Same.
potential to get bigger. It has as these girls have good character development, and it has the
Hmm.
possibility for many things to come in and out. But yeah, go ahead.
I would love this to get the resurrection, the Dragon Ball Super Resurrection of F for Battle of the Gods treatment, where it leads into like an actual series, so we get
Oh,
more out of it.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
retell the story, but expand on it rather than just like be like, oh yeah, here's the prequel or
Agreed.
whatever. But yeah, I agree.
Agreed.
I think it should be a series. I think they could get several seasons out of it. I think it's funny. The writing is sharp, and yeah, go see it. Go watch it. Give it the views. That way they can get a sequel because that's how they usually get it these days is viewership and streams and all that stuff. So go watch it.
Agreed. Go support your artist as always, guys. And
Yes.
don't forget to pay your tabs. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that follow. Like it always, they're free, man. You just hit that little button right there. They're free. It does not cost you anything. And of course, we always like to hear from you guys. So please tell us your comments. Let us know. Did you watch it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? And
Yeah.
yeah, anything. Just we want to hear
You know
from you
what? In the
guys.
comments below, let us know what you'd like to see as a story in the K-pop Demon Hunter universe. How about that? Like,
Oh yeah,
what
that would
type
be
of story would
cool.
you like to see? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. All right, guys. Well, goodbye.
All
Enjoy
right.
your Sundays.
Take care.
Bye. Well, this is our Sunday, but whenever you see this, is probably not
Whenever
going to be
you see
Sunday.
it, enjoy
I'm going
your
to be
day.
quiet.
Have a lovely day.
Goodbye.